What is going on, guys? One Chance Gaming here, back with another video. So, this is not the podcast, don't worry. We're not doing the podcast for this week early or anything. We just kind of got some breaking news that I figured instead of waiting until Friday or Sunday or whenever the podcast ends up coming out, I figured we would go ahead and talk about this now. So if you guys don't know, we had qualifiers, not this past weekend, but the weekend before for 250K, right? And there were a couple of people that qualified. Splash, who I have his Twitter pulled up, and then RCA, another really cool dude. They're both streamers. They're really chill. Both of them were top 2 in qualifying on PlayStation, right? And I had heard from this weekend, actually yesterday, Sunday, that on Unbeatable Jacob and then DBG's podcast that they have, they had Ty on, and Ty was talking about how guys hadn't gotten emails yet for the tournament, which was weird because normally you have the tournament and it's normally like that next week from most things of what I've heard of people getting emails, right? So everybody was kind of a little weirded out by that nobody was getting emails. Well, this came along about noon, a little after noon, today. So Splash got his email first. This is kind of what started everything. Saying that he was being disqualified, and they just said for contest rules, basically it was in their ability if he was undermining by cheating or whatever that he wasn't allowed to do it. They gave him no further explanation. This is now the second time Splash has gotten a message like this. The first time was the first qualifiers. He got labeled for cheating because him and another guy were streaming their qual games, and they ended up running into guys a little bit later in the tournament who decided that they were just going to chuck full core shots and not play. So 2K counted that as boosting. It was something in the rules, some little fine print thing that counted. It benefited him, so technically that's what happened, right? He didn't stream this time, as a lot of the bigger guys did not stream this time because they were afraid of that happening to them, right? So a lot of the big guys did not stream anything for quals. Ty did, but like most of the guys like Splash didn't. There were a couple other guys I know that strictly said they were not streaming because they didn't want that to happen. Splash still got banned though. So, obviously he's talking about he's done. Apparently they disqualified 8 out of the top 10 on PlayStation. I'm not entirely sure who this guy is, but I believe he was like mid-tier. I don't even think he was top 4. 4 quals. I believe he's one of the 2K League guys. Yeah, followed by 2K League. So I'm assuming he's one of the 2K League guys. Splash is also, which is crazy that this happened. Yeah, Splash. And the reason they don't give Splash an explanation is because it happened to him last year. He got accused, I believe, of a Zen last year. And after talking with him, I guess they actually reviewed the tape. They claimed they reviewed the tape. But obviously, if you would have seen his tape in the first one, it would have been pretty obvious that it wasn't a real thing, right? But yeah, so I think Splash is done. We're going to go ahead and just... So that's all Splash's tweets. We'll go to RCA. RCA is a pretty chill dude. He's a guy that's more known for like his playbooks and stuff. So RCA didn't get an email either because he was in second when quals were all done, right? So what happened for RCA, unfortunately, is RCA the first time around, he was, I believe, about 2.5, 3 hours in, and his internet went out. So he ended up taking the loss for that one, and then just didn't have enough points to meet the top 4 or whatever first quals, right? He, I guess, ended up on stream facing a team that got the invisibility glitch, so he couldn't see him. But yeah, so he didn't get in for that. Obviously, so he didn't really have much to say on it. He kind of just did some like really basic stuff. So unfortunately, his didn't. Henry's actually where I first had seen this at about the Splash thing. That obviously he didn't get in, and then obviously he was talking about the RCA situation, and then I think he was done with the tweets for the day. I just had a couple of these guys pulled up early just because I knew that they were the ones tweeting about it. So DBG put out 250K was really a joke. He was actually the first notification I got, now that I think about it, and then Henry's came right after it. So that is what kind of cued this. So DBG kind of explains the Splash, what happened to Splash. You blow out opponents on stream, you're accused of boosting. Blow out opponents off stream, you're disqualified with no reason. So RCA's was, I guess, now that I think about it, his team got the invisibility glitch, not the opponent. But still, that's crazy that worked. So that he didn't have much to say about that. Obviously, we already covered Splash. I agree with Jacob, honestly. Cancel 250. I mean, the dude's got the email. That's cool and stuff. But cancel 250. 250 at this point, personally, in my mind, is just a money grab. It is no longer about actually doing a tournament, because you got to figure between just the amount that they get off of packs alone the week of quals, because always the week of quals is always a really good content drop every time without fail. It made it abundantly obvious this year with the limited edition packs we got that first go around, right? Because with limited edition packs, you physically had to buy packs until you got the card on Saturday, because you weren't going to be able to wait for auctions to expire, even if you were getting the first ones. Because packs don't come out till 10 Central Time. Tournament starts at noon. Shortest auction goes for 4 hours, so they're not available till 2. So this year, I think, has become more and more obvious that 250 is not about the content. It's not about growing the community. It's not about just the My Team community as a whole. It is strictly a money grab, because the packs they get, the promo that these streamers give them, like the first week of quals, like Ty was pulling 1.5k, Splash was pulling almost 2k, DBG was pulling 1,000, several other guys were pulling a couple hundred. Like, those guys do well. It doesn't matter what 2K's Twitch says for what they're pulling, because half of their steps view botted and that doesn't count, right? But for the rest of the guys, it's good content. That's why I was going to stream mine originally, because it's good content. People want to see it. People want to see competitive 2K, right? But you made it a joke by making the fact that the only requirement to enter is you have to make Emerald tier and Unlimited. I think that's like 4 wins, right? 4 or 5 wins. That's it. So you're not really trying to see who's the best of the best. You're seeing who doesn't get kicked. I didn't try and start searching for games till like 5 to 10 minutes in. I waited for other people's streams to make sure they got a game before I searched the last time. And I still got DQ'd. But, like, I just don't understand how you try and pretend like this is such a good thing for your community if you're not going to officiate it correctly. I think what they need to do is it needs to start being people that finish the Opal tier for the season. That's not much to ask. A bunch of people are going to get that done, right? And even people that still pay for it are still going to get there, right? And then once you finish Opal, you put those people in. They get the 4 hours again, and just let them go through that way. Even if, like, that's the most basic way to fix what system you have in place, right? I'm not asking you. I've gone over 100 different ways to fix this tournament until I remembered it's 2K that's making this tournament, right? So they're not going to care that Splash didn't make it. They're not going to care that RCA didn't make it. They're not going to care about that. They're going to care that people are going to continue to watch more people play next go around, right? They're not going to care that people, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So I gave them the most minimal fix possible. Instead of having it be Emerald, have it be Galaxy Opal. You have to complete Galaxy Opal tier. Boom. You're entered, right? Because the guys that actually want to do it, you're giving them plenty of time. The guys that don't want to do it, don't worry about it, right? Like, I just don't understand why that you're going to do all of this to a guy that plays in the 2K League. Like, Splash is one of the top point guards in the 2K League, and you're not letting him qualify? And you've got more, like, Splash is retweeting people constantly that just aren't, they're not getting quote-unquote vetted for things. Like, I understand that it's on 2K, but it's not on 2K because it's technically not them physically running the tournament, right? If you read the fine print, they outsource this to a third party. My problem with it is you're trying to run the tournament through 2K servers. 2K servers suck. So why don't you have a group like My Team Madness run the tournament? Like, just those, My Team Madness runs good tournaments. Like, they run tournaments that everything makes sense in, right? Like, they understand, oh, so if this happens, we have rules in place to protect against that, right? Like, somebody gets DQ'd early. Okay, well, here's rules in place for that. Or somebody gets lagged out in the second quarter. Well, here's rules for that. Like, I just don't understand. You're starting to lose. This game was already competitive as is, right? Because you scared off casuals with skill-based matchmaking. You've scared off casuals with it being 53 wins to get the Galaxy Opal reward, who the Galaxy Opal reward's mid, and you only get a player off of the Galaxy Opal reward. You win 53 games for a player. That's it. Pink Diamond tier is more worth than the Galaxy Opal tier, because that Galaxy Opal card's not going to play for you in 3 weeks, unless it's Gary Payton. Gary Payton's the one exception, right? Because Wilt outdated fast. Like, Wilt's good, don't get me wrong, but in this day and age, everybody wants a shooting center. Wilt's not there for you, right? Gary Payton's usable. Jason Richardson won't make most lineups. Jason Richardson might make a couple of no money spent guys or a couple of squad builder guys, but Jason Richardson's not making actual good lineups for you, right? So why are you going to give us a mid card and not release something else with it? Give us a couple of Hall of Fame badges. Give us a diamond contract. Give us a diamond shoe. Give us just like another box. Why can't the Galaxy Opal player be a quote-unquote topper for a box? Why? Because you hate giving us rewards. There's so many other games, sports games, that reward players for playing. This game does not. This game, if you use Amethyst or higher cards, pretty much no matter what mode you're playing, you're losing MT every single time, right? The Clutch Time mode that just came out. Great mode, love the mode. But if you're using Amethyst or higher cards, you're losing MT by playing games, right? You have to use rubies and below, and the matchmaking in it sucks. The matchmaking does not make sense in Clutch Time. So you have skill-based matchmaking in Unlimited. You have matchmaking that makes 0 sense in Clutch Time, right? I was using rubies and amethyst because I'm trying to save on contracts, and I'm playing full Kevin Garnett, Melo, Giannis, T-Mac, and Gary Payton lineups. Like, how does that make sense? Because is it you're trying to fix the lineup glitches for Unlimited, so you screwed it up in Clutch Time? Is that what that is? Like, I just all in all don't understand how we're starting to get a worse and worse product, and 2K thinks this game's going to continue working, right? The only reason 2K continues to work is because it's the only basketball game out, and there's a bunch of different game modes, so you're just getting a surplus of different fan bases that happen to give you money, right? That's it. That's the reason the My League guys haven't gotten an update in 7 years. Because they don't make you any money, so you don't care about them, right? My team would make you so much money if you could do the things right. There's little things you can fix. It's not even big stuff that can go into a hot fix. Like being able to save settings on the main menu. Being able to make sure my playbook saves correctly. Making sure my jerseys don't glitch out. Making sure the jerseys, you put in alternate jerseys this year and it doesn't matter. Like, I'll still have white on white jerseys. Or I'll still have purple on blue jerseys. Or I'll get my yellow alternates and the other dude has yellow jerseys. Like, it makes no sense. You claim you put this in to fix the problem of people glitching it so that we had white on white jerseys and stuff. And it still happens. Like, I just don't understand how this company thinks that they can keep going like this and not eventually something's going to happen to where either an article by a big company gets written about the joke the 250K tournament is, or you're going to start losing all these comp guys. Like, a lot of the 2K League guys are gone. They don't want to play your garbage game anymore. They went on to be YouTubers or be on, like, what's his name? Kid Kuda, that used to be the Knicks point guard, went on to be, like, do, like, the Instagram and the vlogs and stuff like that because your game no longer has longevity for people to be able to stay on it and be able to grow. Like, people are now using this game to gain the, like, just attraction to their name, and then they're out. That's what everybody does now. They're like, oh, okay, let me use 2K to blow up, and then I'm gone. You aren't allowing people to grow off of your game anymore because it's stale. Because you just, like, when you introduce stuff, you screw it up. Or you'll patch something and screw something else up. Like, nobody can dribble right now. Like, I understand that all the, like, yeah, sure, playing defense, a lot easier now. Why? Because nobody can dribble. Nobody can left, right. Nobody can, you gave us no dribble moves to start the game, right? So everybody figured out, okay, I can kind of left, right. It works kind of well, right? Now we're at the point, though, where that doesn't even work. And you didn't add a Curry slide. You didn't add different moves. Like, I understand people still think the 2K17 would have been broken and people would have complained because of the ankle breakers and yada, 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 right? At least you could move, though. Like, This game you can't move on. You're trying to go too far simulation to the point where it just doesn't make any sense. Like, if you want that simulation of a basketball game, just put your controller down and watch the AI play. You might as well. That's basically how that goes. Like, you're going too far into simulation to where nobody wants to play the game anymore. Like, there's no dribble moves. Your contest system is whack. Like, I don't understand contest system at all. Because I've taken the same shot 4 times and I've gotten 4 different contests. I'll get an open, I'll get a wide open, I'll get a 20%, I'll get a 100%. Like, your contest system makes 0 sense this year. I don't understand. Like, at this point, I just shoot everything and just hope it's an open. Because I can't read what it's going to be. Like, it's just, I don't know. I really am trying to like this game because 2K is what I play. Because I like the shooting games, I can play them for a couple hours. I can't go in and deep dive into a shooting game, or like I can't deep dive into Madden. Like, I'll go through a 1 week spell of Madden where I grind the hell out of Madden, right? Or I'll grind the hell out of MLB, something like that. But after that, I'm done. It wears me out. Like, 2K is what I will always come back to, and that's the problem. We don't have anything to compete with 2K to make them make changes, right? But anyhow, that's my rant. Hopefully there'll be some more positive stuff throughout the week so we can talk about that on the podcast, but I wanted to at least get this off my chest and give my initial thoughts instead of waiting for the podcast. But yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, guys, and I will catch you this weekend. Peace.